Okay. I haven't been in front of a camera in a while. Okay, where do I start? I literally have everything written down on my notes on my phone. Like, I know exactly what to say, but I just don't know how to say it. I'm just gonna start by saying that I just went through ovarian cancer, stage 1 ovarian cancer in the beginning of the year. The tumor I have is called an immature teratoma, which is stage 3A. I'm gonna Google it and like give like, okay, this is what it is, because I don't really know how to explain it. Like, I'm bad at explaining things, but that I'm gonna start with before I found out about it. So everything literally happened in the beginning of 2024. How did I find out about it? So last year, 2023, I started going to Jakarta a lot more, started working a lot more there. During my last trip there, before winter break, since it's like December and it's like Christmas, you spend time with your family and everything, I noticed that every time I ate, I get full really fast. And it's not because like, oh, you're skinny, that's why. No, it's like, it's the unusual amount of food that I ate made me really full. Like, I could eat like maybe 3 spoons of rice or like something. I would feel full like straight away, even though like I didn't eat the whole day. That was weird. Like, wait, what's wrong with me? Okay, maybe I'm just not in the mood to eat. When I went out with my friends, every time I drank a little bit of water or anything like juice or literally any liquid, I just needed to pee like every second. Like, there was no few-minute break in between, not even few minutes, until I needed to pee the next time. So like, every time I drank, I just had to go to the toilet like right away. I'm so sorry, by the way, for like the details. That is not really good to hear, but I just want to tell you what I felt that time. So yeah, I just needed to pee a lot until my friend was like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, you keep on going to the toilet, like you can't even hold it in. Like, I really can't hold it in. Around early January, I started noticing a bump on my lower stomach. At that moment, I thought, okay, I'm gaining weight. In general, I eat pretty healthy. I don't enjoy eating snacks or like pizza or like, okay, fast food, yeah, sometimes like instant noodles, a McDonald's or something like that, but I'm not really into like drinking soda or snacking on like chips. Like, the type of person I am, like when I snack on things, I would rather like take a spoonful of cream cheese and like eat it while watching a movie or something. Like, that's me. Yeah, so early January, I just thought like, whoa, what's wrong with me? Like, there's a bump in my lower stomach. And the bump was not like a small noticeable bump like that, but more like, this is my stomach and there's an actual like bump. And yeah, I did gain weight and I was just like, okay, I gotta slow down, I gotta eat more healthy, I gotta start exercising, and I did. And the weird thing is, usually like every time I eat so much at night, the morning I wake up, everything is like gone, like just flat, like, oh, okay, back to normal. But during the early January this year, that did not happen, which is why I was like concerned, like, no, really, I gotta start exercising right now. I just know for a fact that whenever I exercise a little bit or just eat less than usual, I will lose weight really fast, because that's my body. But that bump in my stomach was not going away. So like, waist, everything, arms, everything, face, skinny, but just that bump in my lower stomach was not disappearing. My sister Nadia was in Jakarta and I kept on chatting her. I feel like something's wrong with me. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something wrong with my stomach. Like, there's a bump and it's not going away. And she kept on saying like, oh, maybe you're about to get your period, maybe you're like bloated or something. But the weird thing about the bump is that whenever I lay flat on the bed, like stomach flat, I would feel something pushing into me, like something hard and kind of big. And so I already thought that was not normal, right? When I was home alone, I started Googling a lot. I started Googling like, okay, what is this? What's happening to me? And a lot of the results came out as like ovarian cancer, like straight up just cancer. And I was like, nah, there is no way I got cancer. Like there is no way. My family don't have like a big history on cancer. And then I saw like things about cysts, and that I thought, okay, maybe this is possible, but it's something that you can take out and it's fine, you know. That's what I thought that time. Once I saw all the results and started reading through everything, I straight away messaged my mom. Actually, I said, if we're not doing anything tomorrow, I want to check my stomach. The bloating is not going away. It's already been 3 weeks. I said that on January 17th. The next day, exactly the next day, we went to the hospital. I did a ultrasound USG of my stomach area. This is the result. Like, while the doctor was checking in Indo, he was like, oh, I can see the problem. January 18, I found out that I have a tumor in my stomach. When I hear the word tumor, my thoughts go straight to cancer. But then again, it can be a cyst. I was like trying to think positive because like nobody wants to think that they have cancer, right? When I did the ultrasound, the doctor said that the size of the thing, the tumor that was in me, was already diameter of 10 times 11, which is huge if you think about it. Or maybe like that big. 10 times 11. That's huge, honestly. I think it's like about that big. The doctor said that it was pushing into my bladder and stomach area, which is why I can feel the symptoms of like peeing often and feeling full. In the end, the doctor that I checked up with told me that I have to check up with an obgyn doctor. We met up with the doctor, another doctor, the next day. And this one was the doctor who's gonna do my surgery. When I knew I had the tumor, I knew I had to do it. It's for the best, and I know I just have to go with it. I did another ultrasound, which is exactly right the next day, by the way. Just a reminder. The tumor grew in size. It is now diameter of 15 times 11. Me, my mom, my dad thought like maybe it's a different ultrasound machine, maybe the one yesterday didn't check it properly, because there is no way it grew that big in just a day. Everything I just told you guys about happened like day after day, and the next day, like everything went so quickly because we wanted to get this thing out of me quickly, and we had to find out what it is exactly, because we don't know what it is. All we knew is that there is something in me growing rapidly. On January 20, the doctor told me to do a blood test on cancer. So I did 2 different blood tests. I forgot exactly what kind of blood test, but there was like a CA-125 or something like that. I was so scared waiting for the results because I'm like, come on, just think positive. There is no way you have cancer. Like, okay, I have to do surgery, fine, but like cancer, like I don't think I'm ready for that. When I got the results, I was literally shaking while holding my phone. I opened it and the results, both blood test results were clean, and that I was just like, oh, okay, I don't have cancer. Like, that's a good thing, you know? I just have to get through surgery, healing process, everything's done, everything's back to normal, I can go back to work. It's fine. So I had the surgery on the 24th, less than a week after I found out about the tumor. The days leading towards the surgery, obviously I was sad about it because like at my age I'm already gonna be cut open and everything, you know. And the doctor did mention that if the tumor was attached or like surrounding my ovary, I would have to lose one of my ovaries. And as a girl, obviously you're gonna think like, oh my god, I can't have babies. But like the doctor said, like it is possible to have babies with one ovary, but still, like I'm just gonna think of myself as not normal because I only have one ovary. I thought about that, like, I'm not ready for this, but I have to. So I was just trying to be strong for everyone that was supporting me. So I checked into the hospital on the 23rd, the night before, so 23rd, and the doctor who was gonna do my surgery said that I had to do one more ultrasound, but from the inside. And yeah, from the inside. It went up my My butt. I don't even know if I want to put this in. I don't know if I can put this in. Is there another way to say butt? I'm gonna Google. How to say butt politely. Oh, okay. The doctor had to put the ultrasound machine stick thingy up my rear. Do I say rear? It sounds so wrong. Up my bum. I can't get to the point. Yeah, okay, up there. He just had to make sure, and he was like pushing into my stomach while he was checking. And the good news that night I received was that the tumor was not attached to my ovary, but it was just right beside it. So my ovary, he didn't have to take my ovary out, so I can have 2 ovaries. So I was just like, okay, that's so good. Like, I was kind of scared about that. The day of the surgery, I was obviously nervous. Days coming up to it, I was acting so strong, like, nah, it's fine, I'm just gonna get over it, you know, it's just surgery, it's fine. It hit me when I was like in the waiting room. I was close to crying, but everyone was there to support me, and I was like, no, you have to be strong for them. I walked to my surgery room without knowing that my surgery was about to start. The doctor came in, and then he was asking me questions like, oh, Raisa, how's work and everything? Any jobs coming soon? I just disappeared. Like, I was just gone. And I woke up and my surgery was done. From my belly button to the cut itself is like maybe 10 centimeters apart or more, which is very low for like a C-section. So yeah, I was like, oh my god, I had a C-section, but I don't even have a baby. Well, I'm not ready for a baby yet anyway, so like, it's fine. The cut was initially supposed to be a vertical cut, but the doctor knew what I did for my job, and he respected that, so he didn't want my scar to be shown in a way. So he did a very low, clean, maybe the cut's about this big. The surgery went very well. All I knew is that they had to do like 3 more tests with the tumor they got out. I was literally learning how to walk up and down the stairs, learning how to squat and everything, because it hurt a lot. Slowly we got results back. Got 2 results back. Both were clean. Waiting for my last result, I was positive thinking like all the way, because I'm like, okay, the blood test I did right before my surgery was clean. These 2 tests were clean, just 1 more, like I'm pretty sure it's clean. I was ready to start working and live a normal life after surgery. Just 4 days before my flight to Jakarta, I found out that I had cancer. So that my last test that we were all waiting for, and I was positive that I was gonna be clean. Turns out it came positive for cancer cells. I don't know, I feel like the whole process from like knowing I had a tumor, the surgery itself, I felt like at that moment when my mom got that call from the doctor, I was so, aww, why am I sad? Okay, I don't want to cry, bro. This is me explaining. The doctor who did my surgery gave the contact of a oncologist that I had to meet up with to talk about how my chemo plans were gonna start or gonna go. Yeah, everything I went through, I thought, okay, just 4 more days until I can start working again. I can go back to normal, feel normal. At this point, everything I went through, I did not tell anyone. I didn't tell my friends. Not most of my family know, unless my mom and dad tells. But I literally kept this to myself because I didn't want anyone to know what I was going through, and I didn't want anyone to feel bad for me. I was just ready to go back to normal, and then my mom got that call, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I started crying so much on the sofa. I remember, like, I thought everything was done. I thought oh, Marissa, you're so strong, you went through surgery, you know, like you did so well already, you know. And my dad said like, okay, Kat, maybe it's better that you take a rest now. You don't have to work. You can start canceling your jobs, you know, talk to your manager. Hearing that honestly just hurts me so much because I was looking forward to working and fashion week and everything. I guess that day really, it just really hit me because I didn't believe it, you know, at that point. It's not that I don't believe it, but I didn't want to accept it in a way because it just meant that I'm just gonna spend so much more time in the hospital and everything. So yeah. On February 19th, I met up with my oncologist. He told me that looking at your figure, I can tell you're a healthy person. So he's gonna do more research to see if my immune system is strong enough to fight this cancer without doing chemo. So yeah, the night before my flight to Jakarta the next day, which is in the morning the next day, I got the news that I had to do chemo, 4 cycles of chemo, which is one cycle is like a 3-day process, 3-day of staying in the hospital, putting the medicine in, a 21-day break in between, then I do my chemo again, a 21-day break in between, then I do my chemo again. When you hear cancer, when you hear chemo, you're obviously gonna think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my hair. Honestly, that's the first thing I thought about. Like, I'm gonna be bald. I love my hair. And to know that I'm going to have to lose my hair was so hard for me. I was just like, I don't want to do chemo. I was really hoping that I didn't have to do chemo, but with the rate of how big my tumor was when they took it out from surgery, it was like a diameter of 23 centimeters, which grew twice its size, more than twice its size from the first time I found out about the tumor. Just 6 days it grew that fast, so the doctor was already positive that it was cancer. My oncologist doctor said, you look like a strong girl. Everything I said, you've been listening calmly, quietly. I think you can go through it smoothly. And then he told me a little story about how he had a patient where even before he put the chemo meds in, they had pre-meds. And the pre-meds are for you to not feel... Okay, how do you say mual in English? Nauseous. Oh yeah. So medicine to not feel nauseous or to not feel headaches or pain. Chemo meds itself is to break down fast-growing cells. So just imagine that. He told me that he just put in the pre-med. The patient started throwing up and everything, you know, like saying she has a headache or she's feeling nauseous and stuff, but they didn't even put the chemo in. The main point of the story was that it's all about your mindset. Everything you feel comes from your mind because that's where the brain sends a signal to your whole body to feel that way. So in a way, he was telling me that you can get through this with a positive mindset. If you already start negative thinking before anything happens, the bad things you're thinking about is gonna happen. And what really got to me was that if you think that the medicine is going to kill you or it's gonna hurt you, make you feel bad in any way, it is gonna happen to you. But if you think the medicine is going to heal you, then it is going to happen to you. So it's really about your mindset. When he told me that, I was just like, that is so true. A lot of sickness comes from overthinking or stress, and all that comes from your mind. So that made a lot of sense to me. So I had my flight to Jakarta the next day, and I remember really trying to make the most of it, I guess. I did all my jobs, I met up with all my friends, went out, had fun, you know, just trying to keep a positive mind. I was eating well, I was putting so much into my body to make sure I was fit enough for the chemo meds. Slowly people started to know about my cancer. At first I didn't want to open up about it, but I felt like the more I talked to people, the more advice I got from them, from knowing that, oh, her aunt had cancer and this is what she did, her friend had cancer and this is how it went, you know. So I started hearing more from others, and I was just like, in a way I felt more good about myself. Like, okay, I'm gonna get through this, like I'm strong. positive thinking, mindset. I kept on thinking that. That was all I was thinking about. Just a few days before my flight back to Bali, where I just know like, oh, reality's gonna hit. Like, this is when I start everything. This is where everything changes, you know. Surgery was nothing. This is chemo. Like, I have cancer, you know, it's real. In a way, I was just like, do I have to do chemotherapy? Because I was hearing stories here and there like, you need a second opinion. The thing is, I trust my doctor so much. That's what you have to do. You have to trust your doctor, because that's where you put your life into. Everything he said to me already made me feel better about doing chemo. I just really wanted to make sure like I had to, you know. So I wanted to find a second opinion, and I got a bunch of advice from here and there saying, why don't you go to Penang? Singapore is pretty good too, but it's quite pricey, and Penang is more affordable, but in a way their hospitals are as good as Singapore. I called my mom and dad. They were like, it's up to you. If you want to go, just go. If you want to make sure. I didn't want to regret. I didn't want to go through chemo thinking like, was it worth it? You know, did I have to? Like, maybe I didn't have to. As soon as I arrived Bali, the next day, nighttime, I had a flight to Penang. Did some tests, did a CT scan, blood test, everything. Everything was clean. But I still had to do chemotherapy. From that moment, I already accepted. Like, I was just like, yep, okay, I'm doing chemo. What else am I supposed to do? Where else am I supposed to double check? Like, I'm gonna fly to some other country to wait for an answer I want? Like, no, I came here for a second opinion, and I got that opinion. I got the answer, and I'm gonna go home and do chemo. First time I did chemo was on the 18th of March. It went really smooth. When they put the medicine in, I remember being like, okay, it's just vitamins. It's just vitamins, you know, it's healing me. Just getting the sickness out of my body. It's fine, okay. I went home, I ate normally. Yes, it was hard to taste food. I felt some headaches. I felt more weak than usual. It hurts to like stretch or like move my body. But I was trying to be strong about it, and I'm like, okay, first chemo went fine. I just need 3 more to do. Hair wasn't falling yet, you know. I was using so much hair care. I was using like a hair fall treatment or like hair growth and everything. And I was just like, oh my god, everything is going so well. 3 more chemos to go. Like, I was counting down the days I was done with chemo, and I was like, okay, I can just go back to work. But then a week before my second chemo started, I remember I was taking a shower like normally, just the usual routine, I guess. As I was washing my hair, it started tangling up a lot, and I tried to brush it out, but as I brushed it out, like a bunch of hair came out. I don't know if I'm gonna show you the picture, but that was the day of like, oh, it's really happening. I'm losing my hair. I'm actually losing my hair. This is the process of chemotherapy, and it's normal, but I knew it was gonna happen, but I just didn't want it to happen. Calling my mom like, mommy, my hair is falling. Like, I'm gonna be bald today. Like, I was like crying. I was like, I'm gonna be bald today, mommy. I'm gonna be bald. She was like, Kaka, what did you do? Like, what did you do to your hair? I'm like, I don't know. I just did what I normally do. Put my clothes on, sat in a chair, and my mom and dad were both helping me untangle my hair. I just felt so much hair coming off. Like, the floor was like full of hair. And I remember I couldn't look up. Like, I didn't want to see myself. I was so scared that when I looked at the mirror, I had like a bald spot. I was just so sad. Like, okay, this is really happening, you know. I'm actually losing my hair. When I finally got the guts to look in the mirror, it was quite normal still. It just looks a lot thinner, like less hair, but there was not any bald spots. Every day since that day, every time I washed my hair, I never like physically rubbed it, like, you know, like how I normally do. I literally just bubble up the shampoo, like put it on my head like that, and then I let it sit for a while, and then I rinsed it off without like the rubbing and everything, because I was that scared about losing my hair. So when my second chemo started, I remember having a very negative mindset, I guess. I can say that was one of my worst chemo cycles. I went home feeling a lot more pain than usual. I couldn't eat as much as usual. I just felt so tired and so drained that I couldn't get out of the bed like I did in my first chemo. And then after my second chemo, when I felt better and everything, my parents decided, like, let's go back home to Macau, to my hometown where I grew up. And that trip honestly made me so happy. It was so refreshing. Met all my family, all my cousins that I used to, you know, grow up with. There was a lot of positivity there. I got a lot of encouraging words from them. They prayed for me a lot, and it was just nice to be back to a familiar place after going through everything that was really unfamiliar to me. So going back to Macau made me so happy. Like, I was just like, so many people love and care about me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I have to be strong for them, you know. I have to show them that I'm okay, you know, I can do it. It went so smooth because third cycle, I just came back from a trip from Macau. I was all happy and everything, like, oh my god, so many people supporting me and blah blah blah, stuff like that. My fourth cycle, I was so happy because, like, come on, Marisa, it's your last one, like, you're done after this, like, what else? So going through those cycles with a positive mindset, the most positive I could ever be. When I was done, the amount of hair I had left was just grandma vibes. Like, I felt like a grandma. Waking up, looking at myself in the mirror, I'm just like, damn, I look like a grandma. Like, that's me. Everyone I've met told me, why don't you just shave it off? I don't know, I felt like, to me, shaving it off means that I accept that I have cancer, and it shows that I have cancer in a way. I just know for a fact that I love my hair, even though I look like a grandma at that point, but I just couldn't bring myself to it, to shave it all off. Yeah, so after my last chemo, I did a checkup with the doctor. Everything was good. Every time I did a checkup or blood test, before chemo, after chemo and everything, all my results were always good. And I remember thinking, like, okay, so what do I do now? I can't work with hair like this. Like, I have to find something to do. My parents told me, like, you can go to Jakarta. It was a good trip and everything. I met a lot of people. I talked about what I went through and everything. Got a lot of positive comments and advice, and I don't know, that trip after my chemo gave me the confidence to, like, you know, what if I shave my head? What's the worst that can happen? My hair is already like this anyways. My parents have been telling me to shave my head like way before, but I just didn't want to, you know. July 7th was the day I decided, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna shave my head. I was heartbroken, honestly, to actually see myself bald. Like, okay, now I really look like I just went through cancer. I don't know what else to say. I just shaved my head. When I met people with my bald head, they gave a lot of positive feedback, and I was just like, okay, maybe it's not so bad. After everything I just told you guys, the main point of this story is that there's little proof that everything you do, you have to go for it with a positive mindset. To me, what my proof was that going through my first cycle, I was all confident already, and it went so smoothly. I can say that the second cycle was the worst because I went through that with a negative mindset, thinking, what is this medicine doing to me? It's just giving me pain. I don't feel good about myself. I'm losing my hair. It just really made my second cycle of chemo really bad. And then the trip back to Macau, I was just so happy about it. And then I went through my third cycle. And that's the proof right there that I went through my third cycle with a positive mindset because I was happy about meeting my family. And the fourth cycle, it's my last one. Like, who's not happy about that? There, right there was really, like, it really opened my eyes. And I was just like, it is really, like, it's true what my doctor said to me. It's really about your mindset. Like, your mind is the strongest thing. Everything you do, you say or feel comes from your mind. He's not saying that to make me feel better about myself. He's saying that because it's a fact. Going through all this, I've learned a lot. I've learned to be more grateful. I was grateful that I have all my friends and family supporting me throughout this whole entire cancer journey. I thought I was gonna get judged by shaving my head off, but in the end I got more love and support for that. you have to be more grateful for what you have, because when one day you don't have it anymore, that's when you really think and regret. You really open your eyes, I guess, when you actually lose something. But at that moment, when you had it, you just don't realize how lucky you are to have it. If you think about it, what if my surgery didn't go well and my tumor just like exploded in me or something? Cancer cells like spread all over my body. Or like when I was exercising at that point, when I didn't know about my tumor and I thought I was just gaining weight, the tumor like exploded, and then yeah, straight up cancer stage 4. There's a lot of what ifs that makes me think like, but it didn't happen, so you should be grateful that it didn't happen, you know. I just have to move on from everything that just happened. It's always gonna be a story in my life, a story to tell in the future. It's a good thing. Obviously cancer is not a good thing, but going through it and having all these learning, all these lessons I went through was just so much in less than a year, but it taught me a lot. I want to thank all my family and my friends for supporting me this whole time. Obviously, I couldn't do it without you guys, because that would be so sad to go through all this alone. And I'm just saying, for everyone, if you feel like there's something wrong with your body, you just go check, just to make sure. Double check, triple check if you have to. You have to listen to your mind. If it's telling you something and you know and you feel something is wrong, you just go and make sure. Anyone who's going through similar things or some type of sickness or anything, just go through it with a positive mindset, no matter the outcome. Because what's the use of thinking negatively, feeling bad about yourself in that moment? Why are you wasting your time and energy and putting all those emotions into yourself just to make yourself feel worse, you know? Just be happy. See, this is me not knowing what to say. I'm so sorry, guys, but I don't know how else to tell you. Just be happy, you know. Positive mindset. Positive. But I'm saying the word positive so much, you know. I'm saying the word mindset, but everything I'm saying is true. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because that I want to share my story to everyone. It's not a lesson to be learned by anyone who's just going through cancer, but it's to anyone doing what they want, you know. Opening a business, or like starting a new job, a new hobby or something. Like, go through it with a positive mindset, because you never know if it's gonna work. If one day it ends up not working, then find something else to do. To me, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and maybe this happened to me because I have to grow more as a person. Yeah, I don't know what to say other than stay positive, friends. Thank you guys for watching the video. That was huge plot twist of my life that nobody expected, because I kept quiet about it for the past 8 months of this year. I've been keeping it to myself, keeping it to the closest friends and family who knows about what I went through, and that's where I've been, friends. I don't know if I said everything I needed to say, but hopefully I did. Hopefully it makes sense too, because I'm the worst storyteller ever. I hope you take this video positively. I accepted everything that happened already, and I'm happy with the journey I went through, and I'm happy about how strong I was going through that. So hope you guys enjoy my video. I'm really looking forward to working maybe with my new haircut, my new look. I'm excited to see what's coming in the future. No matter good or bad, I just know it's a lesson to learn. Bye everyone. I hope you liked my video. Sorry that it's so long, by the way. I don't know how to keep this short. Stay tuned for more videos, guys. Hopefully I can keep updating you guys. I'll try to make you happy. I'll try to spread some positivity. Okay, stop. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Okay, guys, bye.